In this special episode of Working with Productivity, I have a very special guest. Hello and welcome to an episode of Working with Productivity. It has been a while since I last did an episode on working with productivity, but what a comeback, because today I am handing my channel over to Francesco D'Alessio, one of my great friends from the UK, and Francesco has an amazing channel called Keep Productive, and he is going to show you in this episode how he uses Notion with Todoist. But the special part of this episode is simultaneously I'm going to take over Francesco's channel and show you how I use Todoist with Evernote. So you're going to have a good comparison set up over here. So without any further ado, let me hand over my channel to Francesco D'Alessio.
Hello everyone, my name is Francesco D'Alessio and you probably know me from the Keep Productive YouTube channel. Carl and I are doing a collaboration today. He will be over on my channel to do a feature all about how he combines his Todoist and Evernote use. And I'm going to be on his channel today, the Carl Pauline channel, to do a Notion and Todoist video. I want to share with you guys a little bit about how I use the two applications together, because I get a lot of questions like, Francesco, do you use your task manager inside of Notion, and do you looking to replace Todoist with Notion? So I wanted to address a few of those and share my process in which I go through on probably maybe like a Thursday evening / afternoon or Friday morning to plan my next week of tasks. So that might be helpful for your own process. So hopefully this can give you a nice outline to everything. So here we are. This is my Notion and Todoist account. What I've done is I've sort of split screened it. So on the right hand side, you'll be seeing Notion, and in the left hand side, you'll be seeing Todoist. They're both in dark mode, hence their different color to normal. And of course, Todoist has been squashed a little because of this split screen view. So let's start with my Todoist use. A lot of people ask me how to use Todoist. I mainly use it as my, I would say my task manager for actionable 30 days worth of tasks. So as you can see here, I've got 3 items in my today. Over my next 7 days, I've got 44 tasks, and that's the majority of my tasks. And I have projects that are really, really simple. Tasks for sort of dumping in tasks that don't have a due date that need to get done. Personal for any personal life tasks. Work for most of my work stuff, which is a majority share of my Todoist account. And later, these are almost just notes or links that I need to clear out at the end of the week. So the one thing I do is probably on as I mentioned, on a Thursday afternoon, it's normally like 3 p.m. I'll grab some time to plan the week ahead. And I tend to do it on a Thursday afternoon because that's a time for me that I know is a little bit easier. I know that I've got it clear. And also I like the fact that I can go into Friday and the weekend with all of my tasks for next week pretty much set up. So what I will do is I will lay this out. I will also get an A4 piece of paper in front of me. I tend to use the Baron Fig work pad, although I've used A3 the majority of the other time. I will put it in front of me, and what I'll do is I'll write out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the next week. I will then split a little bit on the bottom. I'll try and take a picture of my last week's one and put it in this video. And I'll put events at the bottom, just outline the static events that I've got. So for example, it could be like interview with ... meeting with thing for cinema and bowling, whatever it is, just all of the stuff there. And then what I'll do is I'll start adding tasks to this list. So what I will primarily do is open up my Notion. This inside of my Notion, so I've got obviously my home here with all of my stuff. I will go to personal and goals. Now goals is pretty much my next 2 to 3 months of goals, the things I need to get done. So they're quite clear, actionable stuff. Normally they're titled with a number amount of things that I need to do. And at the bottom, I've got statistics as well, ideal statistics or targets that I want to reach at the end of the month. So you can see here, for example, on the Keep Productive blog, one of our goals is to reach 10,000 monthly visits, unique visits. So what I will do is I will slowly go down this list. I'll go, okay, let's start with the top one. And I will write out across that week all of the tasks I can do towards that goal. So for example, in that case, maybe I could go, okay, Monday, I need to write 2 articles. Wednesday, I need to improve the UI of the website. And Friday, I need to develop a plan for promotional content of the website. So you get the idea. I'm basically picking the goal from Notion. Then what I'm doing is I'm applying it to this physical piece of paper in front of me and plotting it out. So what I'll do there is I'll use a method from Mike Vardy, and I'll use, essentially he themes a day, themes most of his days across his week. So when I mentioned Monday, Wednesday and Thursday, Monday, Wednesday and Friday, they're normally tasks that are a bit more administrative or tasks that include writing. Whereas, for example, I might be doing on Tuesday might be my maker day. I'm just thinking of next week. Tuesday is my maker day. Thursday is my maker day, which means that I'll be filming content like this. So that's the reason I would plot them into those tasks. And I would do that for the full goals list, like launching to Skillshare, securing the sponsors, and even the weight goals and things like that, and other forms of strategy. I've got all my goals, essentially. I'll just plan them all. So that essentially, once I finish this goal section, I've got in front of me an outline of all of my tasks that I need to get done. That's broken down from my goals for the month, and also an event list of what I've got on. So what I will do then is I will then upload this to Todoist. I tend to start with this. I tend to start with a filter called Plan Highlight. This is something I've only recently been doing, so please don't quote me on this as the best method of doing it. Of course, I'm just, as I always suggest, I'm just sharing my process. It works for me, but it might not work for you, so you can cherry pick from this. I use something called Plan Highlight. So I've created a filter inside of Todoist on this left-hand panel. If I click Edit Filter, you'll be able to see it. It's 10 days ahead and the tag Highlight. So what I've started doing, and I read from the book Make Time, which is a really good book so far. I highly recommend it. I basically started tagging some tasks with @highlight as a label, putting it in as yellow. Essentially, the goal of this is so that I can see the most important task for that day. What do I need to do for that day to feel accomplished? If I had to do nothing else, this actually really keeps me focused. And I try to do my best to do them in the morning to get them out of the way. And it will really, it has really recently helped me to refine my efforts. So I will go onto this filter. Once I click into this filter, I get to see all of those highlights. I try and keep one highlight to the day, and you can see, okay, so that's the most important tasks. So what I'll do from that piece of paper is I'll extract the most important tasks for those days. So Monday, okay, that's the most important task. Tuesday, and I'll put them into this outline. So this is, for example, my week now. These are the most important tasks for the day. So I find this a really useful strategy because I'm actually going, what's the thing I need to do? Then what I'll do is I'll go over to Schedule Week, which is another filter, a really simple filter. It's any hashtag work and 10 days, because I'll try and only use this planning for work for the majority of the tasks. I'll click it and then I'll go to the week ahead, and as you can imagine, this will be totally empty, and I'll start planning in the other tasks. I'll start to see the highlights that will already be there, but I personally find this a great way to start just dumping tasks in, and I'll have all of the tasks I need to get done in front of me anyway. So although this process sounds a little bit lengthy, there's really 3 parts to it. It's opening Notion and looking at the goals list, as you can see on the right hand side. It's then writing down what my week looks like on paper. And then number 3 is uploading it to Todoist. I found this to be a really effective way for me to work. And as I said, it's Thursday afternoons and it takes no longer than 30 minutes. I will use apps like Google Calendar to see my events. And aside from that, I pretty much do this offline. And the goal behind that is so that I don't necessarily get distracted by emails as they're coming in. So I have all of my Notion offline, have all of my Todoist offline. And as soon as I essentially get things back up, I can just go onto the sync and sync either way, and it basically will do it. Now, one thing I would say is some small best practices is the offline thing is totally optional for you. The other thing that I noticed is when I'm on my goals list and I'm going down here, I'll tend to find activities that I need to do that are maybe important but don't necessarily need to go in the next 7 days list. So I'll go onto this left-hand panel, go to tasks and start dumping them here. Once I dumped a few of them here, I can give them labels, I can give them context because I want to make them searchable. So they don't actually appear in my next 7 days. They're essentially just a basic list that I can go into and grab tasks from and bring them into next 7 days when I find suitable. So guys, hopefully that gives you a nice outline of the way that I go through goal setting and my weekly use of Notion and Todoist. This is really the combination usage of these. And as I said, it's not really a combination usage in terms of an integration, but I really like the way that I process stuff. Hopefully you found it useful. Let me know in the comments whether it's like, Francesco, you making things hard for yourself. But personally, I find that 30 minutes quite refreshing. I go into Friday knowing I've got all of my next week's tasks done. Well, not done, pretty much laid out. And I go into Saturday and Sunday feeling a little bit more relaxed, if I'm honest. And it's only due to dedicating 30 minutes per week, which is quite a nice practice. Outside of that, I do not touch goals or my next 7 days really. One occasional day, so for example this afternoon, let's just go to my today area. I've completed most of the tasks for my morning, and I have this all of my tasks up to 3, then I've got to call it 4, but I might have the idea or time to do a few more tasks before Becca gets home and I want to relax, so I might go into tasks and drag a few in. But aside from that, I really try and keep it as simple as possible. And once I've completed all my tasks for the day, I tend to just try to focus on what really needs doing. That's when I can focus on administration. Anyway, guys, hopefully you found this video useful. You can follow the Keep Productive YouTube channel over on YouTube. Obviously, Carl, I'm sure will be putting in the cards or be putting it in some sort of video link below. But I really appreciate it. Thank you, Carl, for having me on. Again, it's an honor to be back on the channel, and I'm sure by the time we're putting out this video, Carl will be celebrating 20k, so do give Carl a comment to say a big thank you. Anyway, guys, I'll see you over on my channel. Big thanks to Carl again. Thank you very much, guys. Make sure to have a great week, keep productive, and I'll see you guys very soon. Cheers.
Thank you for watching this video. If you liked what you saw and you would like to learn more about becoming better organized and more productive, then get yourself enrolled in my free beginner's guide to building your own productivity system. And if you'd like to learn more about how I can help you, then visit my website at carlpullein.com. All the details are in the show notes below.